Hi, you guys. It is Wednesday. What is it? February 19th, 2020. My name is Doris, and this is the Knit and Pearl Podcast, episode 193. The title, Stashing Again. You can find the show notes for this podcast at knitandpearl-doris.blogspot.com. In social media, I am One Fine Cow, all spelled out. On Ravelry and Twitter, I am One Fine Design, the number one, on Facebook and Etsy. And I am Doris M. Smith, all lowercase, and smooshed together on Instagram. This podcast has a Ravelry group, which is the Knit and Pearl Podcast group. So you don't have to remember all that stuff I blathered out at the beginning, because in the handy dandy down bar below is links to the show notes, the Ravelry group, and my Etsy store, which you might find something you want. If you go to the show notes and click on at the top of the screen on the show notes is the social medias, so you can go click and you can stalk me, do whatever you want, follow me, and I'll follow you back. So I do a birthday shout out every podcast, and these birthdays, the birthdays are between February 16th and February 29th, and we have one birthday. She's a leap year baby. Her birthday is on the 29th. It is Banner Girl 229. So if it was your birthday and you don't share it on Ravelry, you're included in this birthday blessing. I hope that you will have a wonderful birthday, that you get to do all the things you want, that you get to spend time with friends and family, that you get good gifts, fibery gifts, if that's what you want, and by all means that you have your version of a birthday cake. Happy birthday! Okay, brings us to February. It is time for the read along, for heart health, and for Valentine's Day. So I put a thread in the Ravelry group, started February 10th and will end on March 10th. Knit a hat, knit a cowl, knit a, whatever. So you must be a member of the group to qualify for prizes, the Ravelry group. Knit something in shades of red and post a finished object by March the 10th. As you knit, think about those that you love, and also think about those that you know who have heart health issues. Chatters welcome on the thread as always. Prize will be determined, and I'm going to Florida starting Friday. We leave for Florida for a week. So I will be going to Destin Yarn Shop and picking out a beautiful skein of yarn, maybe in shades of red, for the winner of the read along. Okay, story of the week and stash enhancement. To start with, this is going to be a pretty short podcast, and you'll see. Stashing. Yes, I did. I got this on Friday the 7th. It is, I've got 9 skeins of Brava bulky weight in the color Rouge. I got 9 skeins. Did I say that? It is more orange than it is this pinky color that is showing. It's like a maybe salmon color. I can't get it to read it, but it is definitely not that red or that pink. Yeah, it's more orangey, peachy color. I'll talk about that when we get to the faux. Hi, oh, you know, Hobium's back. And all these people showing their stash. I shouldn't watch it because I always go over. So I got a 5-pack of this, which is, oh Lord, shiny. It's Himalaya Everyday Viking. It is 100% anti-pilling acrylic. It is a DK weight. And it is 273 yards, 3 ounces, 100 grams. It is a DK weight yarn because it is asked for 4mm needles. I bought a 5-pack, which is a sweater's quantity. It's so pretty. I love the color. Let's see if there's a color. It's 70517. I love it. And I believe this is going to be a Tecumseh, but a Tecumseh without the color work. Just the shape of it in these pretty colors. And it is a patterning yarn. If you can see that picture. There you go. Mine is not going to look that neat because, yeah, I don't waste yarn. I'm going to knit it as it comes out. 5 skeins of that. And again, I watched another haul and saw this and went and looked at it and had to have it. It is also Himalayan, but it is an air wool multi in beautiful shades of pink and white. And of course I had to have it. This yarn is a bulky weight, and I believe it is one of those kinds that is a tube that stuff is blown into it. I believe. Either that or it's just a chain ply. It looks more like a tube with stuff that's blown into it, like the loft and stuff is. This is the most delicious thing I've ever had my hands on or my needles in. Himalaya. Okay, this is 170 yards, and it asks for a 6mm or US 10. It's beautiful. I love it. And it's knitting up so nicely, which you'll see in a whip. So that is the stash. So I got this yarn on Friday and immediately started the project. The thing about this though is that this is supposed to be bulky, and it is not as bulky as the other yarn, the other Brava that I got. So the Brava bulky. But I was like, I'm knitting it. I wanted this sweater, so I just started knitting it. And I finished it on the 17th, which you'll see in the finished objects. Yeah. So another thing that's happened over the last 2 weeks is there has been some work changes. Changes for me are not easy. They're not easy. But I also believe God means it for good. So I'm going to be getting my hours on a more regular basis. I'll be with a program coordinator that it's more hands-on than what I had before. So it's all good. It's just going to take me a minute to get used to the new surroundings and such. So anyway, that is all of the story and stash. I have one finished object, and my other whips from the past podcast have seen very little action. Very little because I was focused on this. I knit a turtle dove, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Espastrico. The yarn I used was Brava Bulky in the Rouge color. Needles were US 10s and US 10.75, which is a 6mm and a 7mm. Like I said, I cast this on the 7th, and I finished it on the 17th. Now let me just show you the finished object. It is very, very big, but the pattern calls for 10 to 16 inches of positive ease. I also, I didn't do the split hem, but I figured this acrylic was not going to be happy to be the rolled edge, so I did a few rows of 1x1 ribbing just so that it wouldn't. And I also steam blocked it because I can't not block my finished objects. Doesn't work for me. But here it is. It's beautiful. It's comfortable. I love it. It is bigger than I anticipated, but this is the way the pattern is. I only knit, there's supposed to be 5 inches of this part of the sleeve. As you can see, it's short. 5 inches plus 2.5 inches. Well, I didn't want a long in my way sleeve, so I just did 4 inches and then 2 inches of the twisted rib on the, and this I did the full 4 inches of the neck. I like it. I've been wanting to do the turtle dove for ever since I first saw the pattern come out and the grocery girls talk about it. I wanted to. This yarn was cheap and I purchased it. However, when I first got it, like I said, it's not as bulky as the other Brava Bulky that I got, that I knit the other sweater with, the Nomad. Another thing about this is that there were so many knots, so much to weave in, and it was very splitty. So I have a lot of splitting that happened that after the fact I'm like, I'm not going back. So although I like the finished object, this knit was far from fun because of the splitting yarn and the fact that it wasn't as bold. You can see it is not, it is very it's drapey, but yeah, it's not really an ideal yarn for this. Just my opinion. So like I said before, the other things on my, I did do a little, I'll just show this one. I'm not going to show anything else because there's not a lot of work on it. I started the second color on this. This is how much I have left of it, which isn't much. And it's still not big enough. So I will probably try to find another yarn that will go with this. This is the Virus, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Julia Marquis. It is linked in Ravelry to a tutorial. I like it. I like the way it's knitted, crocheting up, but and the colors and all. It's really cool looking. Still not big enough for me. So I don't think I have enough yarn to repeat another repeat. So I like this yarn with it, but I'm going to add another yarn and from the scraps. So if it looks scrappity, it's going to look scrap delicious. This is a project that I will probably take to Florida with me, along with my other whip that I'm going to show you that I started on the 17th after I got this beautiful yarn. I cast on another turtle dove. I am making it a size medium instead of a size large, so it won't be as big as this. It'll be a little smaller. You guys, this yarn is absolutely delicious. Also, I only did a 2-inch rib here instead of, because I figured this has wool in it, albeit just a little bit, but it has some wool. Did I tell you what the fiber content? I probably didn't, because I was so distracted by the deliciousness of this yarn. It is 74% acrylic, 13% polyamide, and 13% wool. There it is. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I love the feel of it as I knit. So I've been working on this for just a few days. I started it late on the 17th, and I was busy last night helping with some color work and some taxes for the family and babysitting, so I didn't do a whole lot last night. This will be a project that I am taking to Florida, and hopefully it'll get done fast. At least as fast as this one. So this pattern is very simple and fun. There's several options. Two options for the hem. You can do just a rolled hem, or you can do the split hem. I chose to just do a couple rows of rib to keep the side from rolling up. And that is all I have for you. There's no spinning. There's nothing new in the shop. So I plan on filming this a day early, because tomorrow I will be packing and organizing and getting the car packed, because we leave bright and early on Friday morning. We will be traveling to Nashville, and then from there and spend the night in Nashville, and then for Saturday morning get up and finish all the way to Destin, Miramar Beach, Florida, for 7 days. Yay! Okay. Thank you guys so much for spending a few minutes of your precious time with me. Hit the like button, leave comments, do all the things, and I will see you in 2 weeks for the next episode of the Knit and Purl podcast. Maybe I'll even have a little tan. Bye, you guys.